what's up, folks? Welcome back to On Texas Football, and welcome back to the Winning Drive, the primetime edition. I'm Lifetime Longhorn Rod Babers. Pleased to be joined by a fellow Lifetime Longhorn, the young prodigy. As Coach said, he's going to be, I start calling him the man at this point. My man, CJ Vogel, also joining us, our own coach, former high school football coach at Burning, Capel, Brownwood, Belton, Rotan. Also played college football at Abilene Christian, coach there as well, and was on the staff at the University of Texas for multiple head football coaches. These days, you can catch his work at ShipleyRanches.com. It's our own Coach Bob Shipley. What's going on, Coach? How you feeling?
Hey, I'm feeling great. It's game week, baby. Aggies in town. I got a good feeling.
Yeah, man. I don't know why I feel good about this game too. Considering how good the Aggies are, we shouldn't feel that good, but still, I guess that's how Aggie hate week go. You feel good about whipping up on the Aggies.
No. Here's the fact. Here's the fact.
Didn't a chance to. Let me say that.
Here's the fact. They beat Notre Dame.
Yeah, they did.
They beat Notre Dame. Other than that, it's not a very good picture. Notre Dame is the one team with a winning record versus Power 4 opponents. They beat Missouri 4-4, LSU 4-4, Auburn 2-6, Mississippi State 2-6, Florida 2-7, South Carolina 2-7, Arkansas 0-8, Utah State 0-2, Stanford 0-2, and UTSA 0-1 versus Power 4 opponents. Let's hook 'em horns.
Come on, Coach.
Hey, I'm not going to argue with the facts and the stats and the numbers, baby, because numbers don't lie. But I would say that what did Bill Parcells say? You are what your record says you are. Record looks pretty damn good, but you're right, Coach. Well, I like that. I like that optimism to start things out. All right, we're going to get into Sark's media availability today. Game week press conference. I mean, CJ Vogel was there, so we'll get his thoughts about probably the most pressing issue that top of mind for Longhorn fans going into this matchup with the Aggies, the linebacker position. We'll get CJ's thoughts about what Sark had to say, and then we'll have our man Stevie Lee come on with us as he always does on a Monday. We appreciate him. We'll talk to him about that Texas A&M rivalry a little bit. Your thoughts, your comments, whatever you guys want to talk about, questions, comments, throw them out there. We'll try to address as many of them as we can. Super chat, jump to the front of the line, and you can interrupt the show at any time. Just throw out a super chat. We appreciate you guys joining us on, they say, holiday week for a lot of you folks out there. All right. Before we get to it, let's thank our sponsor of this live stream, my friends over at South Point Dodge. Really appreciate them for being a part of the On Texas football family. And right now, folks, be a great time for you to head on over to South Point Dodge. You're looking for a car, new car, a used car. You're looking for a trade-in. Maybe you want a car, a truck. It doesn't matter. Our friends over at South Point Dodge, they pride themselves on being Austin's automotive everything. So it's right now is a great chance for you to get a great deal on any new car or truck right over there at South Point Dodge. And right now, they have over 600 vehicles in stock, including the all-new 2025 Ram 1500. Get the real deal today and drive away in the all-new Ram 1500, proven to last. Plus, you get employee incentive pricing. Right now, you pay what the employees pay when you head on over to South Point Dodge. So that's a great way of saying you get the employee discount. So head on over there. They're off of I-35 in South Austin, or you can go online at southpointdodge.com. Get the real deal today at southpointdodge.com. All right. CJ, would you bring us up to speed on what Sark had to say about the linebacker position? Because right now it's bad. It seems like it was bad news for the linebacker position after that Ty Anthony Smith ended up getting ejected for the targeting penalty, in addition to no Anthony Hill in that game.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what Texas does if Anthony Hill isn't able to go. And we didn't get a true update from Sarkisian about Anthony Hill. Texas did practice in the afternoon, so it was before practice on Monday that we heard from Steve Sarkisian. Of course, normally it's typically right after practice, right off the practice field, does he come and talk to the media. So we should get a clearer picture later in the week. Of course, the availability will come out Wednesday. But Texas right now, the expectation is that Anthony Hill is back on the field, and that's going to be very important. Yeah. Because Texas appealed the targeting decision of Ty Anthony Smith on Sunday. That was denied. So Texas without Ty Anthony Smith. Unfortunate, because that linebacking rotation already very thin. And so Texas, look, gotta make sure that Anthony Hill, Leon Lafau, Trey Moore, they're all ready to rock and roll, because they'll see a large number of snaps in the first half. And that kind of leads me to this, Coach. Obviously you don't change everything, but if you win the toss, do you go out there and say, "Hey, give me the ball, give me one more offensive possession, perhaps one less defensive possession without Ty Anthony Smith until the second half"?
You know how Coach feel about this. I already know.
Heck yeah, take the ball. Let's set the pace. Let's show them what this game is all about. Run it down their throat, throw it over their head, score that first touchdown, make them say, "Uh-oh."
Coach is hyped for that. See, Coach is getting me hyped now. It's too early in the week to be this hype, Coach. You getting me hyped about the game now. But no, I see. I'm with Coach. I think ultimately right now your defense has been pretty inconsistent. I don't know if you necessarily can count on your defense. Now, I'm not saying your defense is a liability, but anything like that. But overall, the defense has proven to be a little bit inconsistent here down the stretch and has been exposed in a few ways, mostly the back end. In fact, all in the back end. That back seven is really your biggest issue. But offensively, you actually have found some consistency. You have found a bit of an identity offensively. You want to lead with your best shot, and the offense is it. I'm with you. My favorite quote from and we'll get to my man Stevie here in a second, but this is my favorite quote from the Sark thing because I think CJ, you tweeted out too. I guess he was asked about the Texas run game, and he said something along the lines of, basically, we're gonna do whatever we got to do to win the game. Which here it is. I got the CJ tweet right here. Sarkisian in regards to sticking with the run versus A&M if it shows signs of struggles early on. Quote, "We are going to do what we need to do to win the game."
Sign me up.
Says if Texas needs to throw the ball a lot to win, they would do exactly that. CJ, thoughts? Because did you answer a question? But either way, I love the answer.
I love the answer. And I think that exact answer is why Texas has kind of been in a rut offensively, is because they stuck to the run maybe a little too long. And I know we sat here saying you got to establish the run. You got to find some rushing success. And I think we're kind of to the point now where even Sarkisian's like, to hell with that. Our quarterback playing some damn good football. We're going to throw the ball to our 4 big-time wide receivers. Our tight end looked really good as well on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, let's utilize those guys. The offensive line at home is a completely different beast than what we've seen on the road. Also, by the way, only 3 tackles for loss over the last 2 home games. Vanderbilt and Arkansas. I know Arkansas is not a great defense, but based off of what we've seen from this team and this offensive line for the other 9 weeks, they're figured something out with this unit at home. I like that. You don't need to run for 200 yards like last year. I think you sit back and you let those playmakers and your quarterback really get to work.
That's how I feel too. Coach, I know you old school, but you watch this team a lot. The run game, even in games where the offense is good, the run game hadn't been that good. Like it's not
going to be this week. It's going to be this week.
It was
the Longhorns are going to show up to play.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Coach getting me hyped already. It's only
I
Monday.
know. Coach is confident. Like
Trust me.
Coach's confidence is rubbing off on me. I'm like, why is Coach is really confident? Like he's not even like there's no uncertainty or insecurity at all with Coach right now.
I'll say this, Coach, you're getting me hyped up right now. I know Stevie's going to bring the heat when he hops on here in a minute too.
Yeah,
I might be ready to say Texas by about 20 points by the end of this show.
I know y'all got me. I don't even know. Y'all are so. I guess it's just how Aggie week go. You gotta be feeling it. If you're not, then just get the hell out of here. Then we don't need no negativity. It's all about how the Longhorns win. No game plan analysis about the Longhorns are going to be. They're going to have to worry about this or worry about that. It's like no. Attack. Do this. Do that. Then you can win. So I feel you. In fact, that's going to be my mindset too. Thank you, Coach. I appreciate you bringing it. All right, let's hit Stevie real quick. Get to my man Stevie Lee before we dive deep into some of your questions and comments. Thank you, guys. There he is. Thank you, Stevie, my former teammate, lifetime Longhorn Stevie Lee, joining us courtesy of our great friends over at Hardgrove Roofing. Go reach out to them today at hardgroveroofing.com. If any concerns or questions about your roof, they are the people to call. Offices all over Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas. They are fine folks. I can tell you that right now. Shout out to them. I've actually had a chance to hang out with the folks over at Hardgrove Roofing, and My man Stevie Lee is good. He can actually vouch for them as well. He's good friends with the folks over there, and they will do you right. So head on over there, hardgroveroofing.com, and actually they're offering a free roof inspection today if you reach out to my friends over at Hardgrove Roofing, hardgroveroofing.com. Stevie, what's going on? But Stevie the Manimal. Wow, is that a nickname? Where'd that come from?
The Manimal. I like it, man. Coach, I'm fired up with you, Coach.
Coach has got basically like I don't even know Coach prediction, but I know Texas is winning by a touchdown against the Aggies. The way Coach feeling right now. So how you feeling, Stevie? How you feeling?
Man. I'm feeling really good, man. Arch is coming to his own. Long as we give him time back there, stepping into the passes, going through his progressions. We talked last week about Sark trying to. He said something about letting the when it comes to the run is what they give him,
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of eating crow a little bit because I kind of see it this time. Like he was like CJ said, why running when this pass is going very, very well, And what was he? Arch was 6 of 6 for a while.
He started out.
He was going. He was just every time he left his hands, it was hitting his guys in the hands. So, I like the way his confidence is coming along, and he needed game reps. This is what we've been saying. He just needed more game reps, and he needs real game reps when nobody's in his face, and he can set his feet and actually throw the ball, step into a throw, and he's doing very, very well. Proud of the kid, man. And I heard a stat, and I don't know if it's true. It's the only quarterback at the University of Texas, right, to throw for one.
Oh yeah, it's true.
To run for one and to catch one.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man. That's the only one. Y'all know we had VY, right? So,
well, Stevie, did you hear what VY said to Sark in the middle of the game?
What's that?
Sark shared this story after the game. Because VY was on the sideline, right? He had just given Sark a high five after the Philly special touchdown, and I guess he during the TV timeout as they were getting ready to go out on the field for kickoff, he looked at Sark and goes, "Man, I wish I had that play back in the book when I was playing quarterback."
I don't think they would. I don't think they would have let VY leak out like that, though.
That's true.
He's wide open, but. No, Stevie, I thought you made an interesting point there, right? He got some clean reps in the pocket. The biggest point for me, and I don't know if it's really been talked about a whole lot, Arch was 4 of 12 in the second quarter, right? It wasn't a pretty quarter when it came to moving the football, finding some rhythm there. And, coming out of halftime, what did we see? It was one of the easiest, most efficient, cleanest scoring drives of the season. So that to me is, all right, he hit a little bit of a wall in the second half. They made some adjustments, and it just didn't matter. He went back into his game. But give me your thoughts on A&M. What have you watched of them this year? What do you know about their secondary, their pass rush? They're 11-0, but hey, as Coach pointed out, they haven't played some of the biggest world beaters this year.
Yeah, don't they lead the league or the conference in sacks?
Yes.
Yeah. So
them in Oklahoma.
That concerns me a little bit, but as long as we got an offensive line that's locked in, it can pass off the blitzes. The other thing is, golly, man, I hate to say this, but our DBs the secondary was looking a little bit soft this week as well. So they really got to pick this up because what is it, Concepcion?
And Craver.
He can catch the ball and he can run. So we gotta just hone that in a little bit. I have total faith in PK and Coach Akina, but that's my concern right now is to keep Arch clean and to play sound defense in the secondary. Right now, hopefully we have Hill back, but if it's going to be a business decision for him to stay out, he probably should stay out. But we got to get around the feet of the quarterback as well. So we'll see. Those are 3 keys for me is getting around the quarterback, secondary playing tight defense, and keeping Arch clean. That's it. If we do that, Me and Coach are gonna go out and have a beer or two.
Hey, Steve, you was recruited by everybody. Did you consider the Aggies?
So yes, I did, man. So I being so close here I'm in Shreveport, on location in Shreveport, and my parents for Thanksgiving. I do this every year, but anyway, I took a unofficial visit to A&M, and I went with one of my teammates' friends, and they had a van that we all went down in. And as soon as I got out of the van and I stepped on the ground, and I just stepped right back in the van, I said, "This ain't the place for me." It's not the place. It just was. It was just weird. I'm just gonna be honest with you, man. It was weird. I'm glad this game is back. I'm glad that the Aggies are our rivals. It's great for Texas. It's great for all the kids that grew up in Texas. It's just great for conversations, for Thanksgiving. It's great. But when I went there, it was eerie, man. I was like, nah, this ain't for me. This ain't for me at all. So,
you want to be a part of the wrecking crew? Come on, Stevie.
Nah, man. Nah. The wrecking crew came with a whole lot of other stuff too. So
yeah, no doubt about that. No, I feel you on that. All right, well, I'll let you go, brother, because I know you got stuff going on. I appreciate you taking the time, hanging out with us. I know you said you were thinking about going to the game. You still?
So I told Mama and them that that we're gonna eat Thanksgiving and we're gonna wake up on Friday morning and hightail it back to Austin. So
beautiful.
I'll be at in the stadium. Well, I actually looked at these ticket prices and I was like, man, I got 4 of these times 4.
What?
Yeah. I'm not selling my tickets. So don't ask. I'm not selling. Yeah. I thought about it though. It's a business decision.
It is, yeah. But honestly, the hope is that I say the hope, but I'm not paying for it. But that this game will be that hyped up every year now. Like it seems for the second year in a row, this game feels bigger than Texas OU, and that wasn't the case when we were playing, Stevie. Texas OU was always bigger when we played.
Because we were chasing that Bob Stoops boogeyman, right?
Amen, brother.
So when we were playing, and I think you too, I never lost against A&M.
I'm 3-1. We lost the bonfire year.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I was my senior year in high school that year, and I came in and we went 5-0 after that.
Yeah,
and so and I got my game ball that Coach Brown gave us with the scores of all my years that I played. And it's in my office back at home. I should have brought it to show you guys. But my other thing about this game and this week, we always had 2 weeks, right?
That's true.
Between the last game and the A&M game, it was 2 weeks, right? And what Coach Brown did a great job of preparing us psychologically, right? Even though we had A&M's number and we were beating them every year, because we went into the game and we were pissed off, mad, because after that last game, the game before A&M, Coach Brown would pipe in the locker room.
Yeah.
Is it the fight song? The War Hymn?
Aggie War Hymn.
There you go.
The whole 2 weeks on a loop. So you will hurry up, go in the locker room, get changed, and hurry up and get out of there so you don't have to hear that dang on song no more, right? So that's what this week means to me, man. This is you love them because these guys are from Texas and they play football at the other university, but this week, no love at all, man. And it's gonna be fun. That's why I'm getting back to Austin just to catch this last game, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
It is, man. Always fun talking to you too, brother. Appreciate you. Be safe on that road and tell the family we all said hi.
We will, man. See y'all later.
All right, brother.
Fire him up, Coach.
Let's do it.
Coach getting it right out here. All right. That's my man, Stevie Lee, my former teammate and lifetime Longhorn. Courtesy of our good friends at Hardgrove Roofing. Check them out at hardgroveroofing.com. Like I said, offices all over Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas. And we appreciate Stevie coming on courtesy of our good friends at Hardcore Roofing. All right, let's get to a couple of super chats because they've been waiting patiently. We appreciate you guys. Orlando here says, Sark should hire Chip Kelly as a special advisor to the head coach to help with the run game alone. Orlando, love the idea. Love the super chat, too. Thank you for the super chat. Guys, what are your thoughts? Because Chip Kelly got relieved of his duties today with the Vegas Raiders. That was quick. But everybody knows Chip Kelly's a really good offensive mind. First of all, where do you think Chip Kelly will land? And what are the odds of him ended up, somewhere on the staff at Texas? Throw it to you, Coach, because you're the one that's got these. It's a small circle, man. Coaching, it's a small world. So you probably know Chip Kelly somehow, or at least know somebody who do.
Yeah, I do. I say Sark needs to stay with guys within his circle.
Okay.
You don't want to bring in guys with baggage. And I'm not saying Chip couldn't help our team, but if he's not within Sark's circle of trust, then don't bring him in. And I don't see how he could be, honestly.
Yeah, okay. I think for Chip Kelly, you're probably due for a pretty significant payday with all these open coaching jobs. Look, he's not going to be, without a job very long. And, a special advisor to the head coach, that might be great and all. I'm sure, to your point, Rod, Texas would benefit from some ideas. But we've seen Texas go add, other significant special advisors. And I'm not sure you could really pinpoint how many true fingerprints or, impressions these guys have made on Sarkisian. He's pretty dead set on what he does and what he likes to do, right? We've talked about it with Paul Chryst coming in. Did you really notice the pound and ground run game as a result? It didn't look like a Wisconsin offense, right? Neil Brown this year, thought maybe we'd see some more Arch Manning runs, and for a little bit we did. But it's very much still looked like a Steve Sarkisian offense, right? So I think he's very content and happy with what he does and the style of offense he plays. And to the point I was trying to make earlier, look, Penn State could use a Chip Kelly. Florida could use a Chip Kelly as an OC. If LSU ends up Lane Kiffin, probably not. But one of these schools is going to pay for an offense coordinator that we just saw last year go out and orchestrate one of the best offenses that we've seen in college football.
Yeah, no, I agree. Chip Kelly won't have to wait long before he gets a lot of job offers as a OC, head coach somewhere too. So I agree with you on that. About the special assistants, though, the Neil Brown thing, I do think you've had – well, honestly, we don't really know what quarterback run game looks like, under Sark. Like, this is kind of the first time we've really seen it in the most modern version of it. Maybe back at Washington you saw a little bit of it. So, yeah, I'm not sure how much Neil Brown's influence has been. Maybe if you can go watch film of West Virginia and then you can kind of be able to actually identify those concepts Texas is using. But I will say that the Paul Chryst thing, the only thing I noticed that the Paul Chryst influence would have been your Big 11, Big 12 packages. Remember the 6 O-line packages? That was something that kind of they started to expand that a little bit with Paul Chryst. And Paul Chryst was known for using extra O-linemen, extra O-line packages. Matter of fact, that 6 O-lineman package is actually taking over the league a little bit now. Like a lot of teams in the league are using extra offensive linemen. And Gary Patterson, when he was special assistant, he definitely helped the defense. He helped PK more than he helped Sark more. His influence on Sark. So I do love that special assistant or advisor role. But I mean, I don't know who Sark would bring in that would help him offensively because I'm with CJ. He's pretty stubborn in a good way, but he's just stubborn. All right, Miracle Martinez, thank you for the super chat. Says send good vibes to Texas volleyball versus the Aggies tonight. That's right. Oh, yeah. The ladies, they sweep. Was it Ole Miss? They swept in the SEC tournament. So, yes, versus the Aggies. Oh, man, that's wild. That's serendipitous, I believe, is one of the terms you would drop there. They're going to play the Aggies in volleyball, whip up on them in volleyball, and then the Longhorn football team. Not coach got me. He's got me confident Texas is going to whip the Aggies. I got to do some more research so I can kind of get brought back to reality here. But coach is confident, got me feeling confident too. But yeah, Texas volleyball, shout out to the ladies. I went to see the ladies. I think they played South Carolina was the last home. And in fact, I saw Stevie there too. Stevie was there last time I went to go see the ladies play, and they whipped up on South Carolina. Actually, I think it was actually 4 sets they beat them in. All right, let's get to a super chat. Another question here from Buddy Pal, Chief Big Guy. He said, I forgot about the Maui game tonight. That thing is going to end at like 1 a.m. Yeah, the Texas men basketball team is playing Arizona State at like, was it 10? Is it 10
Tip off 10:30 Central Time. So, hey,
wow.
if you're enjoying your Thanksgiving week and you don't got to go into to work tomorrow, hey, maybe this is the game you stay up for. But no, it's pretty crazy. 10:30 tip off. One of the later. Also, a little aside. This is one of the sorriest. It's a really bad Maui Invitational.
Is it really?
I don't know if you guys watched this a whole lot over the last 10, 20 years or whatever. But this was one of my favorite tournaments growing up. I'd sit there, in high school watching these games at 10:30, right? All the way, probably staying up till 2, way too late, right? And you'd see the best teams in the country. And I don't think there's a ranked team in this field. Texas, in all honesty, probably should win this tournament, And so I think it's great to get some tests. USC's not bad. NC State's not bad. But in terms of some high-profile power teams, not a good Maui tournament. So,
all right, good insight.
Okay, things I've stayed up to watch. Maui tournament.
No. Didn't have some late night Bill Walton. Not a fan?
No. I was getting ready for playoff games, man.
Playoff.
I wasn't watching no Maui tournament.
Damn right. I like that. That's
I watched the highlights.
That's why coaches in playoff mode right now. That's why coaches.
Right.
Yeah, coaches. I was like,
I ain't got no time for that round ball. We got the Aggies coming to town.
Coaches in playoff mode. I love it. All right. Before we get back to some of your questions, guys, let's thank a couple of sponsors before we dive into your questions. Let's thank our first sponsor, our friends at Von Lane. We appreciate them being a part of the Owen Texas football family. Fall brings busy weekends, crisp weather, and plenty of travel plans. From business trips and family visits to those can't miss football games in Austin. Got one of them coming up this weekend, last of the season. If you're a Longhorn fan heading to Austin for the big game, you might want to think about using Von Lane. Forget the airport crowds and I-35 traffic with Von Lane. You board in minutes at a private hotel terminal located just minutes from your final destination. Then relax in one of just 22 oversized first-class seats with Wi-Fi, power outlets, personal service that makes the miles just fly by. Every Von Lane trip includes complimentary snacks, beverages, hot towel service, and with complimentary meals available on select trips as well. Whether you're traveling for football weekend, Thanksgiving, or Christmas, Von Lane turns your travel time into downtime. Book today at vonlane.com. That's VONLANE.com and use the code OTF25 to save $20 on your first ride with Von Lane. Von Lane, your private jet on wheels, now serving Austin, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Fort Worth, Plano, the Woodlands, Nashville, Memphis, Atlanta, and Knoxville as well. So we appreciate our friends at Von Lane. And also we appreciate our friends over at Culligan. Culligan's water, we appreciate their Culligan Ultra Pure being a part of the Owen Texas football family. When it comes to your water, your water that your family drinks and uses every day, you don't want to cut corners, and you shouldn't. That's why for over 90 years, people have trusted Culligan. And here in Austin, Culligan Ultra Pure has been serving the community for more than 60 years. Culligan Ultra Pure provides high-quality residential water treatment at an affordable price, including reverse osmosis systems, water softeners, and UV purification lights. Whether your water comes from a well, a municipal source, Culligan has the perfect treatment solution for your home. And right now, you can schedule a free water test. That's right, free 99, a free water test, and save up to $600 when you mention Owen Texas football. Culligan Ultra Pure proudly serves Austin, Corpus Christi, Victoria, Brownwood, Pampa, and Plainview. So don't wait. Call Culligan Ultra Pure today at 512-339-2378. As a matter of fact, ask for Michael over at Culligan. He's actually a member of the Owen Texas football family. 512-339-2378 to schedule your free water analysis. That's 512-339-2378. Ask for Michael over at Culligan. Better water starts with Culligan. All right, let's hit the questions, gentlemen. Got super chats here. How about these? This one from Justin. Says, CJ, we are sitting at 7 in the class ranking. Do you think we jump back in the top 5 come signing day? Thank you very much, Justin. We appreciate the super chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Texas just earned a commitment from Jet Walker, the running back out of Georgetown, late last night. I think Texas very easily has 2 more in the waiting to go live. I know Jerry sent out a high today. At least 2 right now for me. I'd even kind of bump that up to 3 if what I'm hearing behind the scenes is trending that direction. But Texas about to add more to its class, and they're still trying to go big game hunting. I saw a comment that said Richard Anderson trying to get out to USC and LSU. Look, it's Texas giving it their best swing for Richard Anderson. I heard the visit went well. He, of course, got to hang out with high school teammate and Texas commit Hayward Howard Jr. But right now, Texas is trying to do what they can to continue pushing for a top 5 class. I think it might even end up a little higher than that if some of the guys that they're considering at the moment are really, really thinking about joining the class. So I like where Texas will be. They'll be a top 5 class.
Oh, I like that. All right. Thank you for the super chat, Justin. Another one from Orlando says, also, A&M has only played one SEC team with a winning record. Just saying. Yeah, Coach broke down the numbers for you. I mean, can we just talk about the Aggies just really quick and kind of where they're elite on both sides of the ball and where they may be vulnerable, but I mean, they don't have a lot of vulnerability. That's why they're an undefeated team. They're elite in their pass rush and havoc plays in the front seven. I mean, they're second overall in sacks, I believe, behind Oklahoma, and tackles for loss nationally behind Oklahoma. If you look at their third down defense, I believe they're the best in the country now on third down defense.
22%.
Yeah, it's absurd. And they have some really exotic pressure packages on third and long and third and medium when they know you're going to throw the football. So you want to try to stay away from there. Defensively, anywhere else, CJ, because obviously those are two key areas right there Texas has to worry about. Anywhere else where you consider the Aggie defense to be an elite group other than those kind of key areas?
No, those are the main. Their defense reminds me a lot of Oklahoma. And what I mean by that, obviously, third down's fantastic. Havoc pressures, sacks, tackles for loss, fantastic. But they don't force a lot of turnovers. And I think that's really interesting, right? Two, very talented, very, very smart defensive coaches. And, their defenses are really talented. They're tough to move the ball on, tough to score points on, but they don't take the ball away. And I thought that's really interesting. If Texas can do exactly what they did, and, I know that's asking a lot, but when you look back at what Texas did very well against Oklahoma with, it was protecting the football. It was making sure that every yard was earned by the Oklahoma offense on the flip side. And so that's going to be a big key for Friday night is Texas and Arch Manning and the running backs. They need to be able to take care of the rock and not give A&M short fields or prevent points from being added to the board for the Longhorns. But that, to me, Rod, got to stay ahead of the chains. Texas did a great job of that in the second half, in the second quarter. But you got to make sure that you hold on to the rock and don't give up the freebies.
Yeah, recently, you're right. Recently, they have been forced to turn. They weren't early on. I think the last couple of games, though, that Bama game and the Missouri game, they've actually been forced to turn. And then I believe they got some non-offensive touchdowns off of those turnovers, too. So recently, the Oklahoma – but it is strange. I want to say A&M's like 127th in interceptions, something like that. Like they don't pick the football off very often either.
And then get handsy back there too.
Yeah. Where they're vulnerable, the red zone defense for them has not been great. They're like 130th actually in red zone defense, 65th in touchdown percentage allowed in the red zone. If you can get to the red zone, which is a tall task. If you can get there, they actually have been one of the kind of weaker teams in the country defending in the red zone situationally there. And if you look at 20-plus yard plays allowed, 79th. They've actually allowed some explosive plays. Texas right now has an explosive offense. So this game's going to come down to me, explosive plays, at least that matchup, explosive plays, and can you win situationally? Because third down, they're elite. You're going to have some third downs. Can you convert? Just like you did against Oklahoma. Remember how fantastic Texas was on third down? They were amazing. Arch was like in the zone on third down versus Oklahoma. And, can you get some explosive plays against this group to kind of avoid having to march the length of the field where, at one point they're going to get you in a negative play. They're going to have a havoc play. They're going to have a sack or a tackle for loss, or you're going to be in third long against the best third down defense in the country. Yeah. So, but that's one of those key matchups. All right. We'll get to obviously Texas and their defense kind of versus that Aggie offense a little bit later on. I'm sure we'll get there, but let's get back to the super chats. Oh, where you been? 6303. Thank you for the super chat. Rod, going into Arkansas, O-line had 32 penalties, 39% of all penalties. Man, that is an ugly number. Thanks for doing the homework. Where you been? Is the team undisciplined or is it the O-line group comparison? Our O-line had 8. Ooh, good numbers. Like you crunching the numbers. Appreciate the statistical breakdown. I think it's an undisciplined team, unfortunately, because I see it on special teams and I see it on defense too. And I mean, Colin Simmons jumped off sides against Georgia on a crucial fourth down, and not that makes him. He's a fantastic player. He's one of the best players in the country. But Texas, they're undisciplined. That's okay. We're at the we're going on the last game of the season, and they're still one of the most penalized teams in the country. I can't blame that all on the O-line. It's mostly, as your stats obviously present that's mostly on the O-line. But, we've seen it, the guys on defense. We've seen it on special teams too. Anytime Rowan Robison's on the field, likely he's going to get one. I mean, it's okay. I mean, that's just something they got to work on in the offseason. That's one of the issues that he's going to have to try to fix and address and emphasize in the offseason, playing more disciplined football. So I think they're in discipline, whole team.
Coach, how do you do that?
Yeah. You just got to be focused, man. You got to be dialed in. And that's why I'm so excited about this game, because we have our backs up against the wall. We've got the Aggies at home. How lucky were we that the schedule worked out the way it did, where we played them at College Station last year, and we get to play them at home this year. It worked out perfectly for us. And we're going to have to be dialed in, and we're going to have to certainly bring those penalties way down, and it's just being dialed in. And for some reason, we haven't all been dialed in at the same time. But I really feel like this game is a game where we're going to be dialed in, and hopefully we'll play within ourselves and not be too anxious to try to get back and get to Marcel Reed.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting comment from Michael Taft today, and we mentioned it on grades, Coach. I didn't think Michael Taft had a good game. In fact, it was probably one of those games where he looked at the tape and said, all right, not one that I'm ever going to want to rewatch again. But he said, I got back on the field and I wanted to make too many plays. I tried to do too much, knowing that this was a game where Texas needed to make a lot of plays, right, against a talented offense. And, we heard that a little bit in the front half of the year with players pressing, maybe trying a little too hard, jumping off sides, maybe holding onto a block a little bit too much, or trying to jump out of their set for a false start, whatever it is. But Michael Taft said, look, I know I have to be better with my assignment, with my responsibilities. And it's going to be really interesting to see in a big game like this with a lot of emotion, can Texas do exactly that and play within themselves?
Right now, Texas at 8 or a little over 8 penalties per game. The Aggies are at 7.5 penalties per game.
They commit a lot of penalties too.
They commit a lot of penalties too. Yeah, you're both outside the top 120 in penalties per game. So it could come down to which one of those teams can play the most disciplined brand of football. All right, good stuff. Another question. Rod Babers' helmet. Hey, you know what? Just because
come on.
Anytime I address Rod Babers' helmet, I gotta put on my helmet. I gotta do it because I appreciate.
Look at that.
That really cool name. All right. Can we press these wide receivers at the line with these young guys to give the D line 0.5 or 1 second longer to rush? Also, Wingo, we can't have the drops those games. All right. That's a big one. I appreciate your Rod Babers helmet. Yeah. What do you guys thoughts about? I thought they played more man and a little bit more press versus Arkansas. But I will admit, Arkansas receivers, and I said this during the week, they didn't scare me. I wasn't scared. There's nothing about those receivers that scared me. I would have felt confident about my DBs playing press against those wide receivers. The A&M wide receivers, I didn't say they scare me, all right, because I ain't scared. But they concern me. They do concern me, guys, Coach. That's a different breed. Both of those guys, could be playing on Sundays. Those are NFL receivers.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt that they scare me too. They don't, I'm not concerned about them. They scare me. They really do. And I've said this the last few podcasts I've been on. I think Marcel Reed is one of the most improved players in college football from 24 season to 25 season. He was just all over the place last season. He's really dialed in. It's much more accurate. Doesn't come down quite as easy. And then you add Le'Veon Moss at running back, and of course Ruben Owens a second, and Concepcion out there wide, and then come back to bite us a little bit. Amari Niblack's had a good season for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've got the weapons, and I'm not really concerned. It scares me. It scares me, especially the way we played last week. But once again, I feel like our guys are going to be dialed in. I feel like everybody's going to be on the same page. I feel like this is a game that, a lot of people outside of the state may not expect us to win, but it's a game that our guys certainly expect to win, and a game that I think our guys will go out and put their best foot forward. We may not win the game. We may not, but I feel like we will upset them, and I feel like it's because our guys will be dialed in, because everything in our season up to this point comes down to this game. This is the only way we can halfway redeem ourselves for a Florida loss, or the way that we played this season, the Georgia loss. This is it. All the chips are on the table for this game. I look for Sark to bring out everything he has offensively. I look for defensively for us to come out and be in sync. I just feel like everything's leading up to this whole season has led up to this week. And I might be wrong, but
feels like
I feel really good. I feel really good about where we are. I don't feel good about the weapons A&M has, because they are loaded. They are loaded offensively. But I feel good about this Texas team coming into this week. I'm sorry. I feel good. Wait till you see my prediction.
Boy.
I can't wait to see the prediction. I really can't. But to Coach's point, he said he's scared of that. They are the best wide receiver. This is the best wide receiving core duo. This most productive duo, I should say, or in the SEC, arguably. Right, CJ? If you look at just productivity, yards per game, and overall yards, you can make the case that Craver and Concepcion are the most productive duo. And what are your thoughts about the question of playing more press and being more aggressive? Because they were in the Arkansas game, no doubt, but that is Arkansas. Different beast.
Right. I don't like it against this team. That's it. If you miss a press, boy, you put 6 on the board, because that's what this team does. You got to tackle in space, and I don't know if Texas's answer to this is just to go strictly zone. I personally would like to force Marcel Reed to sit back in the pocket, read a defense, and make plays with his arms. But look, I think what they do a great job of, and I think that's a big, big credit to Colin Klein, is get the ball to these guys very early. I go back to the Missouri game. There's only 3 passes attempted and completed beyond 10 yards in that game. And I think he threw for about 270, 280 yards. That's a lot of catch and run. That's a lot of after the catch. And that's exactly what A&M wants to do with these guys. And Coach, I completely agree. That Casey Concepcion, Mario Craver, they scare me to death. And then you throw in Ashton Bethel Roman, you throw in a Terry Bussey. Look, these are big time players. And it's probably the best wide receiver room Texas has played this year outside of Ohio State. And I don't think there's a better wide receiver room than Ohio State. So that kind of gives you an understanding of where they stack up nationwide. So, Rod, maybe you have a better answer for what Texas will play, but press man with a cornerback making his second career start. Look, I thought Cade looked great, and I'm excited for the future. But that's a tall task to just say, hey, go guard that All-American. I don't know. I don't think that's the answer.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to play press, Rod, this with those guys, you got to have help over the top. And when you have help over the top and you're pressing, then that's going to leave a lot of running room for Marcel Reed and those running backs against this defense. Because you're going to have DBs running away from the line of scrimmage with their back turned to the ball, and you're going to have help over the top. You have to have help over the top. So when they break free, there's going to be a lot of room for them to run if we do decide to press. But like I said, you can't press these guys and not have help over the top, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's the thing about this A&M offense, right? They present so many problems to you because, first of all, you got to try to stop the run. And the run game, it's a beast for them, and it's a versatile run game. Their rushing offense, it's one of the best to me in the country, just because you got to worry about Marcel Reed. I guarantee they're probably going to take a lot of the concepts Arkansas read in the first half. You're probably going to see those concepts again at the zone read option. Why not? And you don't really have the spies to be able to run that kind of man coverage, like Coach said, anyway, because if you had Anthony Hill say, all right, Anthony Hill, you got to take him. We're going to play some man with our backs are turned, but you're going to have that guy. can you handle him? You go, oh yeah, Anthony Hill can handle him. Now he may play, but that's not 100% Anthony Hill either. And then you won't have Anthony Smith, so you lose some of your spies. And you gotta have really effective spies on a guy like Marcel Reed if you're gonna play straight up press man, like Coach said, backs turn to the quarterback most of the time, safeties over the top, giving him help. You basically leaving yourself open for quarterback scrambles and a lot of scramble drill plays if you don't have a good spot. And right now, Texas missing. They're gonna be missing. We don't know. I don't know about Anthony Hill.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna say that.
Well,
They could be missing their two of their best spies in the first half. Could be.
Okay, am I right about this? We're not going to know about Anthony Hill until the game starts.
No,
Do y'all feel the same way?
Yep.
He's not going to be ruled out before the game.
No.
He's not going to be ruled in before the game.
decision.
No.
It's a game.
You're right.
It's a game time decision.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
I tell you what, when talking about spies, I thought last year what Texas did in this game, it worked very well. And so it's going to be pretty interesting, right? I thought they used a lot of Trey Moore. I thought they used a lot of, Anthony Hill, obviously Colin Simmons. But look, that's pretty big there. Look, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Big news. We're going to break some big news here.
Oh, we breaking news? Oh,
We got some.
It's a good.
It's a good. There we go. Fire up the GIF, Matthew. But Texas has flipped 2026 offensive lineman Caden Scherer from Georgetown. He's previously committed to Stanford, was on campus on Saturday for his official visit. Now a part of the Texas class. That's a big get. 6'6", and a half, 285 pounds. Texas pitched both guard and tackle to him. Just said, hey, come get to campus and we'll figure it out. Well, now Caden Scherer has committed to the Longhorns. That's the second flip in 2 days. That's the second commitment from a Georgetown Eagle in 2 days as well. But the Longhorns, another win on the trail. And as I mentioned earlier, inching closer and closer to that top 5 class. This will certainly help as well.
Man. Okay. So is that Georgetown is where he's from? So Central Texas products. Okay. Good for them. All right. Good stuff there, CJ. All right. Breaking news here on the Winning Drive. Appreciate that. All right. Let's get back to the super chats. Cisco. Thank you, Cisco DS says favorite Thanksgiving food and dessert. CJ's going out to break some news. Favorite Thanksgiving food and dessert. Listen, I have not had a traditional turkey in forever. My turkey got to be fried now. I'm spoiled, Coach. If my turkey ain't fried, it's too bland and too dry. I can't mess with it. Just give me some other type of meat or protein. Then I gotta have my fried turkey. So that's my favorite thing. I think it's been, man, we might be going on 4, 5, 6 straight years of me having a fried yard bird for Thanksgiving. My brother does them too. And I got a friend, Matt Buller. I guess I'm maybe putting his business out there. He used to do them. I don't know if Matt Buller's going to do them again, but he used to fry them up too. And I'd get either Matt Buller to do them down here or my brother would come in town and he'd fry it up. So fried turkey for me. Coach, what's your favorite Thanksgiving?
Just that turkey, just good old common everyday turkey and dressing. My mom is 93 and she's the best that's ever lived.
Ooh, I bet it's good.
Oh yeah. And then for dessert, for me, it's a chocolate meringue pie.
Oh,
pecan's good, but chocolate meringue, the way my mama makes it, ooh, make a puppy pull a freight train, man. Woo!
Make a puppy full of freight train. That's good. I will say I'm not a pie guy. And that's why that's one of my complaints about Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving, right? Football, family, and food. What could be better? But it's nothing but pies. Like people don't cook cakes. There's no cake cooking for
no.
It's a pie holiday, and I'm not a pie guy. Not a pie guy. I'm anti-pie. I don't not like pies. The only pie I kind of like is cheesecake. And is that a pie? Is cheesecake?
That's not a pie. That's not a pie.
It looked like a pie kind of.
It kind of does.
But I'm not. I don't like pies that often. But that's a good point. All right, dessert for me, it had to be a cake of some kind. I don't like pudding either. You like pudding, Coach? And like
banana pudding. My mom make it warm. My mom would make it warm and serve it with those vanilla wafers in it.
My mom would make those too. I hated it. My mom would.
I don't like cold. I'll eat cold. I mean, look at me. I don't turn down much dessert. I'll eat the cold banana pudding. But I like that warm banana pudding right off the stove top, baby.
Okay.
Mama Ship knows how to do it.
See, yeah, that's why I say I'm not a dessert guy for Thanksgiving. I like my fried turkey, and I got some seafood stuffing that we use too, and like some Cajun stuffing. Oh man, Mwah. It's great. Now I'm getting now hungry. My mouth is watering. All right, getting back to the super chats. Jeff C. Dallas to Houston to Texas, excuse me, says is Arch the most important player now. Also, Rod, love your detailed analysis. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate that. He said communicated extremely well. Thank you, Jeff. That means a lot to me. I appreciate it. Is Arch our most important player, Coach?
Yeah, he is. If Arch ain't going, we ain't going. That's just offensively, and you've seen what happens defensively. We may have to outscore the Aggies.
Yeah,
but if Arch isn't on, I don't know that a whole lot else matters.
Yeah, you got no shot. Your path to victory has to be, on the back of Arch playing a great game. He's got to put the cape on for you. Like that's your. I was talking to Jeff, and Jeff Howell made a great point. The identity of the offense is just Arch. Like it's just pretty much can you get Arch going? If you get Arch going, then the receivers get going and the tight ends get going, and then you can sprinkle in the running game. It's about Arch. Your O-line, your pass protection on O-line has improved, guys. It's gotten better. Your run game, your run blocking hadn't gotten that much better. So your offensive line, the changes, they've helped the pass protection, but they hadn't really helped the run blocking that much, which is fine. You just needed something to improve on the line. Your pass protection was bad and your run blocking was bad. Now that you got at least some, average to, above average, maybe below average pass blocking, and you may be able to now hang your hat on the passing game. So I feel like it's all about Arch. He's the man.
I agree. I do my players of the game every Monday, and look into everything, right? Special teams, defense, offense. And I try to be as objective with the outcome of the game and who put Texas in the best positions to win the game. And for 4 weeks in a row, Arch has been the number 1 or number 2 guy for me. And it just feels like as this season has progressed, you've seen him take steps that earlier in the year he probably wasn't making. And a lot of that, I think, came as a result of the offensive line being pretty leaky and pressure being too prevalent. But look, recently, it's hard to look at the tape and watch the numbers and whatever and just say, whoa, that's kind of what we were expecting, right? And it, again, it took a little bit, but as good players do, they get better as the season goes. And boy, oh boy, are we watching the best version of Arch Manning currently today, and that's exciting.
Perfect time for it. Perfect time for Arch's confidence to be at an all-time high going to play the Aggies. All right, another super chat here from Katie. Thank you, Katie, for the super chat. Very kind of you. Said, will we have all the stars on the sidelines again this weekend? VY, Colt, you had Dicker was out there. Yeah, it did seem like there's kind of star-studded. I guess it's – well, I don't know. Was there a reason for it? Were they celebrating something, CJ? It's just like, hey, this was a big game. Texas had to have it. That kind of thing.
Yeah, they were celebrating a 50 burger, right, Coach?
Yeah.
But they did have – Jahdae Barron was back on campus. He led the Texas fight in between the third and the fourth quarter. That was cool to see. Roger Clemens, he was sidelined as well. So, look, they had a number of former Longhorns, Trey Faltini, Drew Duplantier. They were on the sidelines as well. It was a really cool, I always think it's cool seeing, Longhorns past, present, future around the program, especially guys with, trophies that they've brought back to university. So that was cool. Hopefully, if travel permits and, families permits and wives permits, they're able to get back out this Friday night because, hey.
Oh, they'll be out. They'll be out. When the Aggies in town, they'll all be out.
Yeah, this is a big.
I don't know how they decide who gets them. I know Jordan Shipley was sitting up in the stands last Saturday, probably where he belongs. But
no way.
They don't just get the thing out there. Everybody.
That's crazy. Jordan Shipley in the stands with the gin pop? No way. All he's doing is walk on the sideline and should be able to just wave to somebody and say, hey, go. But you're right, Coach. I don't just get on the sideline. I've been offered a sideline pass like a couple of times this season, but they're not hard. They're hard to get. Those are not easy to get these days. All right. One thing I did like about the game, though, I feel like there was some new touchdown celebrations. CJ, have you felt like that? I know you watch all the touchdown celebrations. Do you feel like they got some new ones in versus Arkansas, or did they score so many points where we just hadn't seen that many in a game in a while?
I mean, Leon Lafau celebration, just dotting Bevo with the ball. I don't think I've ever seen that one, Rod. And he
The
mentioned
closest I've seen is Jordan returning the punt
Yeah,
against Texas Tech. Yeah, and runs right into his horns before they decide to build him a fence back there.
I remember that. That was wild. That was crazy. That was crazy.
But no, you're onto something, Rod. And I was talking about it a little bit too. DeAndre Moore, if you ever watch, and maybe it's just DeAndre Moore when he finds the end zone, right? 3 times on Saturday did we get to see him celebrate. He's got a handshake with everybody. And I'm sure that you did as well. I don't know how people do it. I don't know. I'd sit there and probably just hit him with a dab or something, man. That's all I got. All these unique celebrations, man. It's impressive.
The best one.
Right.
My grandson yesterday, I'm playing catch with him, my one that lives in Abilene, Juan Jose Nunez IV. We call him Bubba. He can't speak a word of Spanish. But we're out playing pass, and he catches one, and he goes. he does a 1, 2, 3 touchdowns. I thought that was the best one of the night, the day. Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, like I said, I love touchdown celebration. I love celebrations, period, because to me it means you expect success. You can't have a touchdown. You can't be surprised when you make a play and go, damn, I don't know what to do. What do I do with my hands? I made a play with the crowd cheering you on. Like, no, you should expect success, man. Expect to go make a damn play. And when you do, have your celebration ready to go, whatever it is. So these guys have a lot of
that. CJ throws his hat at Bebo.
I gotta find a championship hat, Coach. I mean, this would be my touchdown hat right here. I hit him with a little
arrow. Let's go, baby. You look like Thurston Howell on Gilligan's Island with that.
Yeah, that's like that. That's
a little before your time, but
that's that rich white man hat. Yeah.
That's my touristy beach hat.
All right, let's get back to the super chat. Lane here with the super chat. Thank you, Lane. Says other coaches alluded to A&M being elite at sign stealing. Ooh, do you see this being an issue? And is there anything staff or crowd can do to prevent it? Didn't they say that Brent Venables was good at that too? Didn't somebody imply that Brent Venables was good at stealing people's signs and stuff like that? Hey, honestly, Coach, what are your thoughts about that? Because if you allow your signs to be stolen, to me, that's a you problem.
Shame on you. Shame on you.
Yeah,
no doubt. Well, I had a team one time that was stealing our signs in high school, and so we just let another guy signal I was doing stuff, and all the people on defense were looking at me. And they were going, okay, here comes a pass, here comes a pass. And I'm like, yeah, here comes a pass, all right.
The dummy signals, right? You're just throwing out random stuff at that point. Yeah, I think you should just – because I don't know how often they change their signals, but I think at this point, especially after the whole Michigan scandal, I think everybody should be on their P's and Q's about that these days. And you got the helmet communication now too.
Yeah.
So it should be less – I don't know. I think that, but.
And that's what I wonder if Texas goes back to huddling up a little bit. I know we talk about, the 11 personnel, the spread, the speed, the quickness, the all gas, no brakes, right? It's been great for Texas, but you're down 1.5 starting linebackers. Maybe you try to slow the game down, or I guess speed it up to the second half as well. I don't know. I actually would wonder if Sark thinks about that rather than just putting together the best game plan he thinks. But, a lot of different decisions will go into this. I don't think sign stealing is something to worry about in this game. And Coach, to your point, if it is, you're doing something completely wrong.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's right. I really think it depends on the flow of the game. If A&M's having a hard time adjusting when we're going fast-paced, look for us to go fast-paced. If A&M's offense is chewing up our defense, look for us to slow it down. You know, I think it depends on the pace of the game and how things are going for us.
Yeah. But to the point about the question, to prevent it, CJ's right. You can get in the huddle. You can go to the wristband stuff where it's kind of just got the wristband. Everybody is on the same page about the numbers and all that kind of stuff. There are certain things that you could do, but Texas likes to up tempo when they're moving. Part of their new formula is, hey, let's put some up tempo when we have success or when we have momentum. Let's keep it going. And that's when they really get into some of the no huddle stuff. All right. Thank you, Lane. We appreciate it. Sean, thank you for the super chat, Sean. We appreciate that. Says, who would have thought that 3 teams from the state of Texas, Texas Tech, A&M, and North Texas would be in the playoffs, and none of those 3 would be the Longhorns? Yeah, the North Texas story is interesting. Eric Moore is doing a good job there. And I know a lot of people are talking about him and his quarterback development he's had over the years. So he probably won't be there long. But yeah, I mean, Texas, to me, I think Texas, the state of Texas, because we prioritize football here. And, football is a way of life in the state of Texas at every level, high school, college, and pro. I just think there's sufficient resources and passion to direct those funds and resources to fully support football programs here. Like Texas, even though Texas obviously is not in that conversation, Texas is one of the most well-funded programs. So are the Aggies, and resourced in this new era of NIL and revenue sharing. I don't know about North Texas situation, so I'm not going to go there. But SMU is usually kind of another. I mean, that's in this new era. I think football in Texas is going to thrive. That's all I'm saying. It probably has already been thriving, but I think it'll thrive even more teams with the new era of college football. And there's a lot of talent here. And when that talent goes out of the state and wants to transfer somewhere, a lot of time they look back home. Like, where can I go back home, get close to home in the state of Texas? And then you'll find a North Texas or a UTSA or whatever those saying. I think that also helps the state of Texas. So a lot of reasons for, I think, those schools doing well. But yes, it sucks that it's not the Longhorns.
Yeah. Guys, real quick, I'm going to have to head out. We got a new video coming soon with Jeff Howe and I. So, hey, stick around, find out a little bit more of Texas's new 2026 commit. Caden Scherer just made his decision tonight. So, for night, you guys have a great night. And, Rod, Coach, thank you very much. I'll see
Thanks,
you guys
CJ.
hopefully Thursday after our win.
All right. Great stuff, CJ. Appreciate you, brother. Happy Thanksgiving. All right. We got one last question. So CJ was right on time. One last super chat here we're going to get to. This is from CG4292. As far as miscommunications on D, could Rod explain how a play call gets relayed to the different levels? Is one player like Ant responsible for relaying? Yeah, that's one thing I was curious about too. CG4292 is who had the green dot, because Anthony Hill was the green dot player who he would get the play call communicated to him from the sideline. I'm sure they probably still have another way to communicate it, coach, from the sideline, but the green dot is when they can actually talk to the player. And usually that player who gets the call from the sideline will relay the actual play call. It's echoed by the safety, the coverage in the front, echoed by the safety to make sure that all guys on the back end get it. And I believe he's the one that relays it to the front as well. So I'm not even sure who has the green dot right now, Coach. Do we know that?
I tried to look and I tried to search. I couldn't find who had the green dot. I really feel like the secondary is getting signals from the sideline, though.
Okay.
I think they're or maybe one safety or somebody gets it from the green dot guy, and then he communicates it to the rest of the guys, which is a little bit dangerous, because they're used to their signals. And when you watch the TV version, which I promise you, everybody that in college football, the coaches, they look at the game film, okay, but they also look at the TV, because sometimes the TV shows the coaches calling the play and they think they're hiding their face, but the angle's coming from the side. And so you watch, they have guys that we always had guys when I was at Texas that watched the TV version of the game to see if they can pick up any other signals or anything from quarterback, receivers, DBs, anybody that's doing anything to give it away. They're looking at those things. That's why I think you've got to change them up from week to week on what you're doing, because that TV view is going to give you some things you don't see on game film.
Yeah, it's. I think Coach is right. I bet they're doing both. I mean, because even Sark talked about that in the offseason, that they weren't going to stop doing the signals from the sideline, even though they had the green dot communication. They're essentially going to do both. So I bet they're doing both. But I am curious, and I do not know CG4292, and I will try to find out who has the green dot now, because now that guy usually doesn't leave the field very often. Anthony Hill was perfect because he's staying in all your packages, early downs, third downs as well. But yeah, as far as getting the communication in, I imagine it's both ways, like Coach says. signals, and headset, just to make sure everything is confirmed at all three levels of the defense. Because sometimes, especially against up-tempo offenses, or if they decide to go up-tempo, you don't have time to get it to either communicate it all at the same time, or the DBs are, 5 to 8 yards away and you can't hear a damn thing. So everybody's got to get it in a different way. So I think that's about it. Back in my day, it was easy because everybody huddled up and it was old school. And we didn't have a ton of up-tempo offenses. Mike Leach comes in, and then we started to get all of our calls separately from the sideline too. So it all depends on what kind of offense you're facing a lot of the time as well. All right. Thank you, CG4292. All right. Thank you guys for all the super chats. Let's thank our key sponsor one more time, South Point Dodge, our friends over at South Point. We appreciate them very much. And you can score an easy extra point this season when you get to the point with our friends over at South Point Dodge. They have over 600 vehicles in stock right now, including the all-new 2025 Ram 1500. Get the real deal today and drive away in the all-new Ram 1500, proven to last. Plus, you get employee incentive pricing. That's their fancy way of saying you get the employee discount right now at South Point Dodge. So score big today at South Point Dodge. Go see them off of I-35 in South Austin, or you can go to southpointdodge.com. Whether you need a car, truck, trade in, something new, something used, our friends at South Point Dodge pride themselves on being Austin's automotive everything. That's southpointdodge.com. All right. Thank you guys for all the super chats. Well done. I think we get a new CJ GIF every couple of months, and it's a beautiful thing. So thank you, Matthew. That's why Matthew's the real MVP. So please show him some love. The one behind the scenes, twisting and tweaking the dials. Thank you, Coach, for all of the wisdom and the knowledge. Thank you to CJ as well, who has joined us for most of the show. Thank you to my man Stevie Lee, lifetime Longhorn, and my former teammate. And thanks to each and every one of you for watching and for listening. If we missed any of your questions, I apologize for that. Ran out of time. Thank you for the participation. Direct them to the gentleman at Coffee and Football bright and early tomorrow morning. That'll be Bobby Burton. Oh, actually, I'm sitting in for Bobby. Just thought about that. I will be sitting in for Bobby in the morning.
I'll be on at 8:30.
Boom! The crew. That's right. All right, so Coach Eddie.
We gonna get them fired up in the morning, Rod B. We're gonna have some extra caffeine in the morning, baby.
Ooh. Yeah, Coach gonna be hype in the morning too. Ready to go. Okay, so
closer.
Coach and I will be on Coffee Football with Jerry Hamilton at 8:15 bright and early, and Blake Monroe. And also you have the Tuesday night live stream. CJ Vogel, Jeff Howe, and Amanda Atwell will be joining you at 7:15 for the Tuesday night live stream, getting ready to talk about Texas A&M. All right, for Coach and for Matthew and for CJ and for also for man Stevie Lee and for all of you guys out there, we appreciate it. I'm lifetime Longhorn Rod Babers. Until next time, hook 'em horns.